you hear me?
We can't hear you, Kirk.
All right, so y'all couldn't hear me for that first part. This is what happens when you have a live production. Things happen. I don't know how that mute button got clicked. Somebody must have kicked. No, I'm just joking. Probably was me. So what I said before was that I'm so excited to have you guys here. We got a couple of people on already. People have been messaging in the private Facebook community group, saying they've been looking forward to this one, looking forward to this one, looking forward to this one. So we got a panel of YouTubers on, but they are so much more than YouTubers. They do a lot of things, and you'll find that out over the course of this program. And so we're just gonna dive right in. This is a time for everybody to take a moment, go and share the stream if you can. Justin, I just saw. Well, we got two Justins on here, so I gotta differentiate. So Justin, how do you say your last name?
Cool.
Khoe. I wanted to say Khoe, so I'm glad
No
I
worries.
asked. So Justin Khoe, I saw you tagged me in a post. So I appreciate that. Yeah, this is the time to share it and see if we can't get a few more of our friends on here. And if you have a friend that's on the panel today, please let us know in the comments. Jump on there, tell them that you appreciate them. You tell them you're like, hey man, I can't wait to hear what you're gonna say, and then just engage with us. We want to have a two-way conversation. So at this time, man, we got 17 comments already. Let me just take a look. Yeah, but basically all of those comments are folks telling me, hey, you're on mute. Hey, you're on mute. Hey, you're on mute. But there's a couple of them saying, man, this is going to be so good. They have all been dope. But this one is going to be something else. Yeah. There's a couple more saying that you're on mute. You're on mute. David Hunt and Carvin's Julian. These are our regulars. Yep. Appreciate you guys. I see Justin's in the comments as well. That's pretty cool. All right. We're going to take a moment and just going to kind of go around the digital room and introduce ourselves to everybody. Let everybody know where we are, what we're about, what we do, what channel you manage. But in addition to that, what else you do? Because the channel is just kind of your big megaphone. So clearly there's a reason for your channel. So we want to share that with the people. And I'm going to start right with, so should we just change your names from Justin and Justin to Wilson and Khoe? I don't know. We got to figure out something. But we're going to start right with Justin Wilson from Wilson World. We're going to start with him, and then we'll make our way around. Just go right around the circle. So, Justin, tell the folks a little bit about yourself, about your channel, and a little bit about, what are some of your other passions outside of YouTubing.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm Justin Wilson. Channel name is Wilson World. And it's actually funny because as far as our passions, YouTube is kind of becoming more of what we're doing. It's still very much what we do kind of in our free time right now. I'm an electrical engineer by day. My wife is a educational psychologist, but our channel is basically a music channel for the most part, which may seem kind of weird, but music is something that we've always done, and we both come from musical families. So our channel is basically our family doing music together. I have a son. Everyone calls him LJ. He's known as Baby Boy Drummer.
Baby Boy Drummer.
Right. And he actually kind of started, I guess we'll talk about that in the origin story, but he pretty much started our online presence because his videos were just going viral, and we wanted to kind of control that content. Our channel is us doing music. My wife sings as well, and I have a daughter who's about to be 2 in a couple weeks, and she's into music as well. But yeah, the other passions is like I said, I'm an electrical engineer. I work for a defense contractor by day, and I think that's pretty much it. Did I miss anything?
Man, you missed a lot.
Oh,
I think you missed a lot. On your bio it says a Grammy award winning musician. You said you're into music, but I'm into music. I don't have a Grammy though. No, but
Yeah.
we're gonna dive into that a little bit in a little bit as well. But
Okay.
man, we appreciate you for coming on the show and lending your experience to the conversation, because everybody comes at this thing from a different perspective. And you'll probably see that I tried to keep a panel together that have come at this YouTube thing from different perspectives. So with that said, man, how did we get the Justins next to one another? Somebody must have jumped out and jumped back in. So okay, we're gonna go to the next. Justin Khoe, talk to us a little bit about your experiences and tell the folks a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, so my name is Justin Khoe. I've been doing YouTube podcasting content creation now for the last 4 or so years. It started off when I was teaching at a Bible college, and just maybe this was kind of a duh thought, but I had the thought like, what would it be like to take the same kind of courses and classes that I'm teaching at school, bring them onto the internet? And so that kind of started this channel that I was known for a number of years called That Christian Vlogger.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, I've pivoted kind of away from that content, and now I'm doing a show called I'm Listening. And the focus of I'm Listening is to highlight the life experiences and stories of people who don't kind of fit, I guess, what's the standard American Christian experience. And so for me, it's really about building bridges and empathy and compassion between people of faith and those who don't have a particular faith background.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interviewing, people in different religious perspectives, people who have different political views, and just really trying to help people understand simply through the art of listening to another person's story. And beyond that, I do some consulting, and I work with a number of churches in North America, kind of consulting, helping them work on their social media presence. And I run a handful of other, YouTube channels and podcasts on the side as well.
I think we're going to see a recurring theme throughout the discussion that looks like one YouTube channel is not enough. You got to have more. You got to have multiple. I'm just trying to work on one right now. Right? But Justin, thank you so much for again lending your experience to the conversation today. Meredith, how are you? VidProMom.
I'm great. Yes.
I have been. My confession is that I have been binging a couple of your videos. There's some really good ones out there. The one that I shared in the Facebook group, a number of folks mentioned to me and commented on the video saying, "Man, there's some stuff I need to learn here." So, take a moment, tell the folks a little bit about VidProMom. I know we're going to talk about the origin story a little later. But just talk about a little bit of your passions, a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself a little bit, okay?
Yeah. So my name is Meredith Marsh. I started my YouTube channel, I think I'm in my 6th year, I guess. So I basically teach people, I do camera tutorials, video editing, how-tos. My passion is really helping side hustlers thrive with video and YouTube. So and we can talk more about why that is in my origin story, because I used to be a side hustler. And so that's basically what I do. I'm kind of a gear nerd, online business tech nerd. And I have 2 girls, and my husband and I and my family live in upstate New York in the middle of nowhere. And so that's me. That's me.
Wow. I was trying to figure out which character is Genie. Don't beat me up too much. You said your favorite Disney character is Genie. I was trying to figure out which one. Which show? What did I miss? I mean, I thought I saw everything Disney put out. Which one is Genie? Help me.
Aladdin.
Oh my word!
From Aladdin.
All right. There's my embarrassing moment for the show. Anthony Hackett, Sonset Friday. Anthony Hackett, talk to us a little bit about. About Sonset Friday, about kind of your experiences, but don't give them the origin story. Just want to keep on telling folks, don't Don't give them the origin story yet. We're gonna get to that part a little later in the show. But yeah, Anthony, go ahead.
Got you, brother Kirk. First of all, I gotta say, I feel like I need a microphone. All y'all got these cool, dope microphones and stuff. And like, Gabby, I know me and Gabby, we need to upgrade.
Oh my word,
we ain't about that life yet. And what's up to my man Justin Khoe, the other Justin too. But yo, I just wanted to say thanks, Kirk, for letting me be on. I'm with Sonset Friday Entertainment, and I started on YouTube. I started YouTube back 2014-ish or something like that. Just messing around, doing some, like video skits and different things like that regarding humor-based, regarding church and Christian themes. And that just eventually transitioned to various other YouTube content, from pay it forward videos to skits and short films and stuff like that. And then a short while ago, I would say a few years ago, I did kind of transition out of just Sonset Friday YouTube content to creating, kind of stepping a little bit further into filmmaking. So producing now faith-based films, feature films, short films, documentaries, as well as still dabbling in YouTube. And to be honest with you, I'm helping to manage my wife's YouTube channel, which she should actually be on this dang thing right now with her channel. But that's kind of the gist background.
Good, man. Well, I appreciate that. Well, you got to make sure you plug her channel in that section of the show, so we know where it's at, what it is, and we can make sure our audience knows where to go to find that content as well. Still seeing that theme. So let me just ask real quick before we go to Gabby. Meredith, is it just the one channel that you have, VidProMom? Okay, good.
Yeah, that's my only channel.
So I'm in good company. I'm good. We just have the one channel. Justin Khoe, I think you said you transitioned your channel, but it's still just the one though.
I do have a couple other channels that are kind of on the side as well.
Right. Now I already know Gabby has like 20 channels, so I'm out in left field here. But Gabby, please take a second, talk to the folks a little bit about yourself and some of the things that you do, and I thank you again for coming and lending your experience to this discussion.
Hey guys, it's so much fun to be here, to be hanging out with YouTubers and people interested in YouTube. I just want to say thanks for having me, first of all. So, well, we got introduced through a fellow blogger, like awesome person, Leslie, and that's kind of where I am focused right now, is helping people to seek freedom. My second channel is called Freedom Seekers with Gabby Wallace, how to create more freedom in your life. And YouTube has been a way that I created a lot of freedom in my life. We'll talk more about that. But my first channel is Go Natural English. I'm still working on it, but I wanted to give some context because Go Natural English is for people learning English as a second language, which may or may not apply to anyone watching. But if you follow me at Gabby Wallace, like the Freedom Seekers channel, that's more for how to create the life you want using YouTube, online courses, etc., passive income, stuff like that. All that fun stuff that we love to talk about.
Oh, yes.
So, two different things going on, two different channels for two different audiences.
Excellent.
Yeah.
No, we'll make sure we get that in there. We'll put that in the comments. We'll make sure we even after the show is done and we're doing the replay, I'll make sure I edit the description to include that channel, because I want to make sure. So I literally need to go and follow that channel because I kind of know English. At least I think I do. So I need to subscribe to that one. But so man, there's our panel. Okay, so there's our panel, folks. I'm trying to see if there's anybody who has a any comment that I could grab real quick before we dive in. Somebody says to Freedom Seekers, I need to start watching your channel. VidProMom is like, can't wait to hear your story. Yeah, I'm with them. So anyway, as we dive in to our first question, and again, anybody can run with these. Anybody can speak to it, and if you have anything to add, feel free to jump in. But our first question is, what are the mechanics of being a YouTuber? So this is what I have in the question, right? Algorithms, tags, channel setup, time of day to post, and why, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And I think it'll be interesting or unique to hear from each of you to a certain extent, because we all have very different channels. And so, yeah, anybody want to take a first stab at that? What do you think some of the key mechanics are of being a YouTuber?
A microphone?
A microphone. Anybody else? Anybody want to dive in?
Cameras are good too.
Cameras are kind of essential.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see somebody leaning in.
I would say so. It just depends kind of on what where you're at in your YouTube game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, obviously a camera's good, obviously audio is good, but you know, there's certain levels to this. So, you know, you can start off in certain places, and then you can upgrade. You know, you want to upgrade your camera, you want to upgrade your audio, you want to upgrade your background, your lighting. So it's a matter of making sure that you continuously grow. Like, I think eventually I want to be on Justin Khoe's level, because he be coming with the fire looking videos. Look at him over there; he's looking smooth, got the soft, warm light in the background. So, you know, I think just those mechanics are all good, and with regards to the technical things of which you need, but most definitely just continue to upgrade as you go along.
I mean, outside of equipment, though, so because some people say, you don't need to really worry that much about the title. Some people say it's all about the title. Some people say, you don't need to put too much effort into the clip art, you know, the YouTube clip art. And then others are like, man, that clip art is a missed opportunity. You got to make sure you're taking advantage of that. What would you say to some of those kind of dynamics around, you know, being a YouTuber and getting your content out there? Because honestly, some people are just they'll create their videos and then they post it to social media hoping that their friends will watch, but that's actually not the most successful way, in my opinion. At least I'm just speaking out of turn, maybe, but maybe I'm wrong. But for me, I feel like you're trying to really create a more organic audience around your channel. And so, how do you do that and get your content seen by those who would be interested, those who are searching?
I think if I can, just for the first part, I think all of us would say, you know, your content is the most important thing that you need to work on on YouTube, and even most social platforms. I mean, if you go and really, you know, look at this different videos, you see these videos that are recorded with someone's iPhone in their car, and they are wildly popular, wildly successful, and it's because they know their audience, and they're giving their audience exactly what they want. And I think when it comes to the title and the tags and things like that, it's important, but it's kind of like extra steps to get your video seen to more people. But if the content is bad, you can have the best title in the world, and you'll get that hockey puck effect where, you know, it's 10 seconds into the video, you know, no one's watching anymore. Right. So I think really knowing your audience, and so you're making the content, you know, that's for your audience, is first and foremost. And then as you go along, you know, getting those things like a better camera and lighting and researching, you know, titles. I know the, you know, really popular YouTubers, you know, you'll hear that, you know, they spend 4 hours on.
Need a little more volume. Wilson.
They spend like 4 hours on a title, you know, and it's you know, trying to get that right. You know, those are the extra steps, because they already know that their video is going to be seen by a few million people. But to try to get it even more, those things are important, and it helps, you know, with the algorithm getting suggested, you know, tagging on to similar videos that have the same title and things like that. But still, if they start watching and your content is not very good, you know, it's not gonna help you any, just because you had a really catchy title.
Right. Okay. Got it.
I'll jump in, because I have something I say. You know, YouTube is not about me. It's about my audience. It's not iTube. It's you, like y'all, like you all, my audience. So you want to continually be creating content for your audience. I think that's been said, and kind of evolve from there. Like the titles, the tags, the algorithms, everything's really based off of your engagement and kind of the evolution of your relationship with your audience and seeing what they like, what they don't really care for or care about, and just kind of building step by step. Like even at this point, I've been YouTubing for over 10 years, and it's still like, let me just put a video out there, see how people respond, and build from there.
Okay.
I think that's always how it's been for me and how it still is. And the algorithm changes over time. What's important, like our tag's important, maybe not as much anymore, but like those things change over time. But what doesn't change is really just figuring out what your audience wants and building that relationship. But like simple things, like think from your audience's perspective. Like don't title your video my July 27th video. Like nobody's searching for that. You know what I mean? Like those titles, like my first video, like nobody's searching for that. So you got to think about what people are looking for and that thing strategically.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anybody else want to jump on there? We kind of bled right into the second question, which was, what do you put the emphasis on? What emphasis should be placed on video quality versus content quality? And of course, it sounds like overwhelming that everybody's saying content is really where you want to put your emphasis. And then you kind of grow along with in terms of your video quality or your videography level, wherever that is, because there are some videos who that have zero videography quality level at all, and then they are millions and millions of views. I see you pointing at yourself.
Because that's me. I'll be honest. Like I know I have this balance. It's weird. Like my videos, especially my first videos, were not great quality, but it's like, what are you going to put your energies into? Like making sure it's perfect audio visual, or like growing the audience, or it's hard to do everything perfectly. So my philosophy has always been just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but hit publish and, improve a little bit each time if you can.
And I would also say it depends on the content of your channel too. Like, if you're a filmmaking channel, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have some, you gotta be about
absolutely.
that life. But if you're not doing, film, and I'm talking about filmmaking, like making short films or something, you want people to see the quality of the content you're making. But not every channel needs that level of quality per se. And I agree with everybody. Content's king, man. Content's king.
So we have one question I'm going to take from the comments. How do you grow an audience? If you have great content, right? So let's say that's a given. You have the content, but how do you grow the audience then? How do you determine that, essentially your content is great? So what do you do in that scenario?
So I think one of the least I don't know, sought after attributes for YouTubers is just grit and consistency. We like to say, oh, I'll solve my problem with a new microphone or a new camera. I'll fix it with, this next piece of technology, because it outsources the problem. It means if I have enough money, I can pay to win, kind of an idea. And this is kind of like, people take these shortcuts of, pay for followers, pay for engagement, things like that. And it's because we want the silver bullet that's going to fix everything. Very few channels actually grow because of a single viral video. Most of us who are content creators never have that viral breakout moments. We might have a few videos that perform better than others, but not every content creator out there, at least I think it's a minority of us, who have the videos that have millions and millions of views. Most often it's simply because we post consistently. We post once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, and then we're doing all the other work outside of it, creating micro content and promotional stuff and interacting with our viewers, and then there's doing the collaborations and things like that. And there's something to be said about not getting discouraged. And I think it's so potent that even if you don't have great content, but you are consistent, you actually have a better chance than someone who has a great piece of content, but that's all they have is a great piece of content. I think that even the best videos and the best, channels with all the branding and the technology and the gear behind it, if you only have one video on your channel, very few people will actually subscribe to that.
Right.
And so there's something to be said about just consistency and grit. And how do you determine if your content's great? It's actually through this process. It's by actually creating 50 to 100 videos and then taking a step back and saying, well, what's working, what's not?
Mm-hmm.
And by taking this kind of 30,000 foot view of your channel and what's working and what's not, seeing the trends, then you can start to hone in, oh, this is where I'm connecting with my audience better.
Yeah.
And you can start to have a better and more informed opinion on what is considered good content for yourself.
Nice. That's good. That's really good. I see Meredith shaking her head, but I wasn't sure if she wanted to say something.
No, I totally agree. And I'll also have to say I'm like a total introvert, so I'm not a person that would just like speak up and start speaking. So if you want me to talk, you're gonna have to call on me.
I will make note of that.
But no, I totally agree. The more you publish, the more you get to know who your audience is and what they want from you.
Mm-hmm.
And not just in your, yes, you can study your analytics to know that. Look at your watch time, are people actually watching? But also just the comments, like if people are leaving long comments telling you, wow, this, video really helped me. I did this and this because of your video. Thank you so much. Like those are the comments you want to see, versus just great video. End of story. And so you can tell from the comments whether you're fostering a relationship and really connecting with your audience. And one of the things too that I would say, when we were just based on the last question, is we're talking about thumbnails and titles and what's really important.
Right.
And one of the things that I do is I just ask myself, what does my audience need from me today or this week? I don't do a daily video, so this week. Instead of, it's really common to dive into keyword research and figure out what's going to rank in the search results. And that gets you to a point when you have no audience. But once you have an audience, you need to be asking yourself, what do these people need from me right now? You need those people to click and watch your video when you hit publish.
Right.
So that YouTube will see that your content has value and they'll show it to more of those similar people.
Okay, got it. Yeah, no, that's. I'm gonna call on you more. That was a.
If I can,
Yes, go ahead.
Can I
Go
add
ahead,
something
go
real quick? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can you hear me
better
okay?
now.
I turned it up a little bit. And just to that very first part of his question, like how do you grow your audience? I don't know what the percentage is, but I think 70%, I don't know, it might be off, of YouTube, people who watch videos is from suggested content, like what YouTube suggests. So I think, so that's like 30%, and among other things is search. So if you have great content and you're specifically trying to grow your audience, the best way to grow it is for your video to be suggested after someone watches a similar video.
Right.
So there's a lot of different ways to do it, and it's crazy. Like if you just go on YouTube and search for exactly what you're creating, you'll find hundreds of videos of people doing very similar, if not the same thing, which is great.
Yeah.
And then you see which ones have a lot of views, which ones are popular, and then you try to match, because I know we can talk about this later, but Google Brain, which is what YouTube uses, is insane. It can determine what you're saying, who's in your video, if different aspects of the video, and then they use the brain of Google to determine how to suggest other videos, because YouTube wants people to stay on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone watches a video, YouTube then suggests another video that they hope that person will also watch.
Right.
So if your content is similar in pacing and style and everything as a video that someone's watching, then your video gets suggested. And that's kind of, in my opinion, one of the only ways to grow, because if you have great content, but you only have 15 people and no one else is seeing it, then you're not going to get more people.
Right.
You get more people because your video is suggested and people say, oh, YouTube thinks this video, I'm going to like this video. And then they watch it and they like it. And then YouTube uses the profile of that person to suggest your video to other people that has a similar profile. Okay. So what you do is, so you look and you see, okay, this person is doing something similar, or I like what this person is doing. Looks like they have, I don't know, they have a really animated beginning, or their framing is this way. So, then you do that similar thing, and then you hope to get suggested. And that's one big way to grow your audience, once you have that content.
Good. And if you can believe it, we're already at the halfway mark. We're already at the halfway mark. So we're going to dive into the origin stories right now. And we're going to start in the reverse order from which we introduced ourselves, which is kind of messed up because some people jumped out and jumped in, but we're still going to start with Gabby and make our way around the other way. So if you want to talk first, and then you want me to show the what did you send in, by the way? It was a video. Okay.
And you figure out what I sent in while I talk, and it'll work out.
Yeah, I think you sent in a video and a still. Yeah.
Yes, that sounds about right. Yeah. So my start was when I was teaching English in the classroom, and I started an English teaching YouTube channel because I wanted to help my students a little bit more, and I really didn't know how to grow an audience or do any of the things we're talking about today, but figured it out as I went along. This was also 2011 for this particular channel, Go Natural English. I had posted a couple of videos on YouTube prior to that, way in the beginning, 2005, 2004, something like that, but didn't really develop. I didn't really stay consistent with that. So Go Natural English was when I made a channel that was more consistent, teaching English to help my students. And I mean, I wanted it to be something outside of the classroom that would help students, and maybe I didn't know what to expect from it. I didn't know it would become a successful business. I'm laughing at that still. I'm like, anyway, it developed into something pretty, beyond my wildest expectations over the years, just from sticking with it. And I just, I don't know how much to talk about my origin. I'm happy to answer questions, but what I want to put out there is to encourage people to start and to stick with it, and to focus on what you want to bring into the world. What are you doing? Are you helping people to learn English? Are you helping people to learn how to use video cameras? What are you helping people with? Are you just being entertaining and making people's days a little bit better? Because I find for myself, when I just focus on the numbers, I mean, when am I going to hit 10 million subscribers? It's kind of like that feeling are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And it doesn't feel good. I mean, yeah, numbers are important. We want to grow the channel and everything, but it's more encouraging, and it's easier to stay motivated if you keep focused on your mission. And so that's what's kind of kept me going over the years. So I don't know. Was that my origin story?
No, that's good. That's good. Did you want me to show the clip?
A little bit, maybe, if people want to get a taste of what what one of my Go Natural English videos looks like.
Sure.
Hey Naturals, what's up? It's your favorite American English teacher, Gabby, here with a Go Natural English lesson to help you to stop translating everything from English into your native language in your head, in your mind, in your brain, in your noggin, and to start thinking only in English. It is possible, believe me. No matter what level you're at right now, it's possible to think in English. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to give you 9 tips that will help you on your journey to thinking just like a native English speaker. So if this is interesting to you, then keep watching.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so motivated to think in English now.
That was good.
Thank
good. And
Thank
so, and you shared before, you're saying that video has 10 million views. And so somewhere around there, right? 10 million. I don't know what the exact number is, but I mean, so one of the things that, even as we were chatting before, was it's clearly there's that you hit a nerve. You struck a nerve. You literally, you found a lane, and there's a lot of people who have been helped and probably shared it with others. And I read a couple of the comments. There's a lot of comments on there. I didn't bother. I just read a couple, and yeah, one person was like, yeah, this has really helped, because that whole translation piece. I've lived overseas and in other cultures and in countries where they speak other languages, and it is, you do the translate and then say and then translate, and anyway. So yeah, I can imagine that had to be something that people were very excited to hear about, and to receive those 9 tips. It's a 14-minute video. And you put the timestamps in it as well, which I thought was pretty cool. So if somebody wants to be able to go to a certain section that they're struggling with, I thought that was pretty good as well.
Yeah, it's something kind of newer-ish that you can put timestamps in to help people navigate your videos. And it seems like more and more YouTube wants to help people to engage with videos in that way. So it's a little, hack or trick or whatnot if you want to help people engage with your videos.
Right. Excellent. Well, did anybody want to say anything to Gabby? I'm looking at the comments real quick to see. Yeah. Basically, everybody's kind of just jaw dropping with the 10 million views. That's
you never know.
You
just
never know.
Keep dropping videos, because you really never know when one is going to catch. I didn't know this one was going to get 10 million views. Shoot, I mean, if I had known that, probably would have made it longer or something. I don't know. More watch time, but
wow.
Just keep dropping videos.
Keep dropping videos. That is a good hashtag, a good takeaway, a good tweet. Keep dropping videos, folks. Keep dropping videos. Okay. Sonset Friday. Anthony Hackett. Yeah. I know you're ready to go, but then you had to reach over to hit that mute button. Man, listen, I'm gonna play it in your case. I'm actually gonna play the clip, and then you can speak to some of the.
Let me preface this, Kirk. All
right, you preface. Okay, you preface.
Team YouTube, okay. Have mercy on me. This was the first video I ever did in my life with regard to something. It was the first one. I just told my wife, I was like, babe, take my cell phone, record me. She was like, oh my gosh, fine, okay. So it was just, it is what it is, but I'm an entertainer, so I just went for it, and this is what it was.
All right. Here we go.
Are you ready?
No, I'm not ready.
Okay.
I know you had fun, though.
It doesn't matter, babe. Can we just go? It's the Sabbath. I don't want to be seen again.
It's Shallow and Chris from church. Oh, man. No, it's the Sabbath. They cannot see us here. I wish I had some of this
Some glitter. I just don't know what.
Just the minis. What is with you and the mini?
I love minis. Happy Sabbath! What are you two doing here?
Babe, what are we doing here? Witnessing. What are you doing here? What are we doing here?
I had to use the bathroom.
But you have a basket full of food.
That's not my basket.
Oh, church was good today.
Yeah, it was good. Pastor?
Now, just listen.
So so first of all, that wasn't the actual video. That wasn't the first one. No, that wasn't the first one I ever did. But that's one of the first ones I ever did, and that was just as rough to watch. So it's all good though.
It's still hilarious. So I think my family and I were in South Africa when you guys we started pushing some of that content out, and we just used to eat it up every Friday, man. So continue.
Yeah, no. So I mean, for those who are watching who may not be familiar with the faith that I am in, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist Christian, and on Fridays when the sun set, especially as you're younger, you get bored, you get like things weren't as exciting anymore. So God just pressed upon me to create some content that was actually entertaining to watch when the sun sets on Friday, hence the name Sonset Friday. So that particular video you just saw, as well as others similar to it are all just video content to really help people enjoy the Sabbath, enjoy when the sun sets on Friday by having content that's entertaining as opposed to just, your typical learning about God type of videos. So that's where it all started, just with putting those videos out, and it started to gain traction, and people were liking it and commenting. People at that time, years ago, they'd never seen anything like that with regard to comedy, entertaining videos from that faith. And so that little niche audience began to develop, and then from that we started to produce pay it forward type videos where we go out and do some creative fun ways to pay it forward, and those are the videos on the Sonset Friday channel that begin to actually take off, and those was our viral moments of like millions of views, hundreds of thousands of views on those particular videos. And then from that, God led me to the transition, which is to the filmmaking aspect of things. So yeah, that's kind of the background of it and where I came from.
That's good, man. Yeah. And I think even for you, there was a point where you recognized the audience was really gravitating toward a particular type of content that you were putting out, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was just different, like it's weird. So when you're a lot of times when you're starting off on YouTube, you have a particular type of content you want to put out, and then you evolve. Sometimes you evolve and do something slightly different, or sometimes you evolve and do something totally different. And in the Sonset Fridays case, it was kind of like a gradual evolving from niche content to the Seventh-day Adventist crowd to more general content to people who love pay it forward videos to overall Christian content to now feature film. So it was like a general graduation or continuation evolving of the content. Excellent. Meredith Marsh, how are you?
Great.
Good. Now what did I put together for you?
I sent you some screenshots.
Before and after. Well, kind of. So at the beginning of their channel, and then what it looks like today.
Yeah.
Okay, so feel free to kind of give us your story, and I'll put the picture up while you're talking.
Okay, so I started. I had a full-time job doing in-house marketing and web design for a local manufacturing company that made storage sheds, which sounds really exciting, I know. But it was a really great job. I loved it. It was a great environment. But back in like 2015 or so, I thought I should start a blog. And like figure out how to make money and then quit my job. And it's kind of like the entrepreneurial love story that a lot of people just love to tell. Nice. and that a lot of people love to hear, right? I started a business, quit my job. Well, about a year and a half after I started my blog and my YouTube channel, I lost my job. So I had this side hustle going, and it was growing. I was really surprised by how quickly my YouTube channel was growing for somebody who, like, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm not an on-camera person at all. I just kind of saw what other people were doing, and I was like, well, I could talk to a camera, sure. So I started doing it, and it started working. So I was at the time publishing a lot of how-to videos, like how to use a GoPro camera and how to edit GoPro videos, which was just good timing because the GoPro cameras were starting to become a little more mainstream, and people who didn't really understand how cameras worked were buying GoPros. And so anyways, I lost my job, and then I decided to just take my side hustle full time with the little money that it was making. It was making something. It was making enough to know that there was something there. So I went full time with it. So I feel really strongly that if you have the drive to have a side hustle, like any amount of action you can take after work and on the weekends, even small steps, as long as you're moving in the right direction, you're effectively being the boss of your own future. Even if you're not your own boss yet, you have to take those small action steps now so that if if the 30-year-old family-owned business that you work for moves to another state out of the blue, if that happens to you and you lose your job, no big deal. You've created some options and opportunities for yourself. Even if you haven't created a full-time business, you've created options and opportunities for yourself by becoming a content creator. And especially with YouTube, you can grow so quickly on YouTube. So especially in today's with a pandemic and all the things that are so uncertain with jobs and careers and the economy and everything, like now is the time to put your energy into your own freedom for sure.
That's powerful. That's good for way more than YouTube. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
That's a good premise for life right there. Put the time and effort and energy into something that you can grow, something you can create. And this is a really interesting moment we're in terms of the pandemic and everybody being, I mean, there's 6 of us on screen right now having a conversation. And I didn't even take stock to say, where is everybody? I know the Justins are out west. The Justins. One is in the north part of the west, others in California. Gabby, where are you?
I am in LA. About to move Kansas City, so in the process of moving
transition
this week.
This week? Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I really appreciate you taking the time. And then
I don't know where my hairbrush is.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
And then, Anthony, you're in Maryland, DC area?
Yeah, Maryland.
Okay. That's right. That's right. And then Meredith, you're in upstate New York.
Way upstate.
Right. It's way upstate now. Okay, we're gonna go to Justin Khoe first, and then we're gonna go to Justin Wilson and hear a little bit about that. Justin, I know you had sent me some images to share, but please feel free to just chat. Tell us a little bit about some of you shared some of it with us, but yeah, tell us your origin story, how you got started.
Yeah. So my YouTube journey started as an after hours kind of a thing. I was working a full-time job, teaching at a school, and YouTube was just something that was an idea. Like, oh, this is kind of cool. I wonder if it'll work. I wonder if it'll work for me. Obviously people are making money on the internet, but could I actually, and it wasn't even so much about money. It was more about the mission. It was about the desire to get a message out there and to have some kind of an impact. Money was kind of a secondary thing. And when I have like these kinds of moments where I'm like, oh yeah, what can I do for mission? And like thinking about money secondarily, like I kind of really run with these ideas a little bit further than I think most people are comfortable with. I came home from work one day and I told my wife's name is Emily. So Emily, I think it's God's made it clear to me it's time to do this thing. And long story short, I told her, I'm going to quit my job and we're going to do the whole YouTube thing, which, exactly. It was our first year of marriage. So I'm not sure she knew what she was signing up for. But to her credit, she's like, all right. She took a couple of breaths and was like, let's give it a go. And so I think it was something like 30 days later, we had ended up moved across the country from Philly to the Northwest. And I told her, give me a year, give me a year to just try this out. Let me give it a shot. And I think at the time I had only had, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers. So it wasn't anything massive by any stretch. And I said, give me a year. And if we can get, if I can show that there's maybe something here, then we'll keep going. And if after a year, it seems like this was a terrible decision, then we'll stop. And so a year into that journey, the channel had grown to over 10,000 subscribers and we were having opportunities show up and, we felt like, okay, maybe we're not quite there yet, but it's definitely showing promise. I think that first year was rough, man. That first year I had earned through affiliate sales, through consulting, through a couple, whatever it was, I'd earned about 20,000 for that first year, which I'm like, hey, that's great. But because video wasn't my thing at the time, I think I'd spent like 18,000 to build out computers and lighting and cameras and audio. And so, there was something there to say, there's promise, but if it wasn't for the support of my wife, I don't think that we would have been able to get to the point where we are now, where, we're able to make an income. And this is something that we've been legitimately doing full time now for 4 years.
Wow.
Or 3 years now.
Amazing. So tell us about this picture, these two pictures.
So that photo on the left is me in Philadelphia. That apartment was a tiny little apartment. It was one of the cheaper apartments we could find in North Philly. Every night we would hear rats scurrying across the floor, and when we'd leave that room where the jackets are hanging, that was our bedroom. When we'd leave our bedroom, we'd be greeted with little gifts on the floor from our unwanted guests. So this is the apartment that it all kind of started off on. As you can see, we definitely do not have our life in order in any way, shape, or form at this point in time. Those lights on the stands I got from Home Depot for like $9 because I just couldn't afford, all the bells and whistles.
Making it work, man.
Yeah, we just decided to give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen? So that photo on the right is an example of one of the earliest kind of brand integrations that I did with a church ministry. This particular ministry, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, did a health expo in Los Angeles at the convention center. And I think in the span of like 3 or 4 days, it gave away, I want to say it was a couple million dollars worth of healthcare. Dental care, surgeries, eyeglasses, like you name it, there was all kinds of things. And so I did a handful of promo videos for them on my YouTube channel. And one of the more gratifying moments of this journey with this particular video series, I remember running around all day that first day, editing the video that night just to get it up to get it live before people went to sleep that night. So it took a lot of hard work and effort and put the video up. And as I'm on my way back into the convention center, the second day of service, there was a family riding up the escalator adjacent to me, and some kid looks up and like, his eyes get all big. He's like, "Hey, you're that Christian vlogger," which was the name of my YouTube channel at the time. He said, "We were watching your videos last night. That's why we decided to come down here and volunteer and just give back." And so it was really cool to see how there was a way for me to use this developing gift of video and storytelling in a way that would serve humanity in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and that's real impact. Yeah, that's pretty good, pretty cool, man. Thank you. Justin Wilson, let's hear your origin story. Do you want me to, you tell me how you want me to set this up? Do you want me to play the video, or what do you want me to do?
I didn't.
Oh, I don't.
I don't know how long that video is.
Don't worry about that. It is short.
Okay.
All right. Let's run the video.
Yeah, you can play it,
and we'll all be jealous.
1, 2, 3.
Is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary, and E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love is all that I can give to you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't play the
That
whole
was
thing.
really good, man.
Thing.
Wow.
I couldn't play the whole thing, man. Just this, in the interest of time, I had to cut it down. But yeah, I was jamming out earlier, man. No, go ahead. So talk to us, man. I mean, go ahead.
It's just so interesting how it all happened, because and that video, when I was looking for it, was actually almost 2 years after I started the channel. But I call it the origin story was because my son, who he's been playing the drums since he was about 1.5 years, and his first viral video was like maybe 20. He was 23 months old, and we're talking 25 million views, and that's when we created a page for him. But it just goes to show that I would put the same videos that we would put on like Instagram and Facebook that would get millions of views, we put on YouTube, and you would hardly get any. And so I really wasn't like, I was like, YouTube is really, I don't know what's wrong with YouTube, but it's not working, And so we just kind of left it alone. I would repost the video that we would do mainly for Instagram on YouTube, and it wouldn't go anywhere. and then I met a guy, and we were just talking, and he mentioned he's like, yeah, YouTube really loves families. It's something that YouTube really loves, and I was like, oh, okay, and we were doing something with merchandise, and there was like a giveaway, and that video Love was some type of giveaway, and I put it on YouTube, and it was really literally like, it just was such a difference in the response from seeing all of us together than seeing, just my son, who was already, most like a viral sensation. But
Right.
it wasn't until all of us together that was really good for YouTube. So I started posting more family content, and that's, and really changing. And that's when the YouTube channel was Baby Boy Drummer, which was the same on Instagram and Facebook. And we decided to change it to Wilson World, and since then, just doing things together, doing music together, it's that's kind of how it became Wilson World, was just seeing that, just people just wanted to see families and seeing us interact with each other, and so that's kind of I call it the origin story, even though that video was pretty much only a year old. I think it was April of 2019. And so we went from, I think at the time we were right at about 10,000 subscribers. And now almost about to hit 200 after changing it to a family channel.
Right.
So
that's interesting. I would never have thought about that part. That's
me neither.
That's pretty cool. Wow. That's an interesting dynamic. Gabby, did you want to say something?
I'm just over here taking notes, like need to start a family.
I mean, clearly there's a way to do it without, but I mean, it's an interesting dynamic to understand, because that is true. There are a lot of, I don't know, maybe what the other platforms call a view is not quite what YouTube calls a view as well, but there's content you'll put on something else, and it's like, man, 50,000 views,
different.
Easy, and on YouTube it's like 2. So,
right.
So that's interesting. But we are, man, it just really, the time just flies away. I want to see if there's, I'm going to just say to the audience, for those that are watching, if you have questions, now's the time to throw it in there. What I want to do is, if there's anybody that has, I know we've talked about our origin stories, we've talked about a little bit about ourselves, we've talked about some of the dynamics of YouTubing. I want to go one more time around and see if there's just one, if you could give an aspiring YouTuber one piece of advice, just one piece of advice, what would it be? And we'll start with Meredith this time. It's like right in the middle, and then we'll kind of, I don't know, we'll just kind of, we'll do one of the Justins and then go from there. Yeah. So Meredith, talk to us. Just if your number one tip for an aspiring YouTuber, what would that be?
It would be, nobody is born knowing how to do YouTube. You just have to do it. And like, if I can stand in front of a camera and talk to it, literally anybody can, because I'm a stage fright introvert type of a person. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get. And if you have a message or a mission or a goal that you feel is important to get out there, YouTube is absolutely the best platform. And you have to put that goal and that mission above your own, like, I feel weird about being on camera-ness, and just let it get out there.
That's good.
I want to build on that. Can I go next?
Yes, go ahead. Look at that. We're jumping around now. Good.
And yeah, I want to, so continuing with what Meredith said, and also building off of the keep dropping videos hashtag, I think a lot of us get hung up on like figuring out the algorithm before we publish a video. Mm-hmm. Not going to happen. Making sure everything's perfect before you hit publish. Not going to happen. And we get hung up on these things, often just creating excuses, to be honest, because we're uncomfortable with putting our imperfect stuff out there. But I learned through doing. I learned through making mistakes. And you have to push through that and make the mistakes and embarrass the heck out of yourself. That is the only way.
Man, embarrassed. I have personally experience that last piece you said. Embarrass the heck out of yourself. I've personally experienced that part. Anybody can jump in. I mean, we're just going round robin now. Anybody, your number one tip for an aspiring YouTuber?
I think for me, it's done is better than perfect, especially when you're beginning. When you're beginning is the best time to publish less than perfect videos, because worst case scenario is literally no one sees it, and then it's okay. Like, you learn something in that process still. The cost of a bad video is more expensive the longer you go. So early on, done is better than perfect. Keep hitting upload as consistently as you can. You'll learn along the way. I'm a big support of what Gabby was saying here. And then as you grow an audience, as you get better at this, then sure, be a little bit more picky about what you're putting in. So done is better than perfect. And while you're uploading, continue to educate yourself. Follow gurus like Meredith, and there's other YouTube kind of teachers and things like that. Listen to all the podcasts and allow yourself to learn all these ideas kind of through osmosis, where you're not necessarily like, it's cool to take notes, it's really good, but also just listen to it in the background as you're going to the gym, as you're running errands, and as you're doing that, continue to upload.
Yeah, like it. I like it. Anything?
If I can just tag on,
to
exactly what I was going to say was tags on perfectly with what my fellow namesake ended with is just study. You have to. It's so crazy because there's so much content on YouTube that's so different, but there are kind of formulas that most of them all follow, to be successful. But because all the content is different, you don't have to feel like, oh, I don't have something that people really, really like, because you'll find it, and it'll be have popular videos in every category. So I would encourage someone who's starting on YouTube is, study, look at other YouTube videos, look at the videos that are in your same category that you like, and just see how their pacing is, see how they're doing their videos, and really study so that you can try to match and know how to do your own videos, and still keeping with your own voice, your own content, but studying just to see what's out there and to see how other people are being successful. That was just like what Justin's saying.
No, that's one of the things I was actually what you were touching on toward the end there, Justin Wilson, is something that I have experienced and have been learning over and over. I find it interesting that several of the YouTubers I follow, when they first started, they had a very unique niche name of some sort, and then they have since transitioned to just their name. And the reason I have found now, again, I'm still young. I really should be in the comment section. I shouldn't be on screen with everybody else, all these people that have had experiences and success on YouTube. But what I've found is that you are the brand. So, a lot of times we want to, yes, you want to have a good video, and it needs to be edited. It needs to be, but at the end of the day, if you are as long as you're in it, and you bring your unique, secret sauce to it, that's part of the equation. Anyway, let me be quiet. Anthony Hackett, talk to us. What is your number one tip for aspiring YouTubers?
I would say know your why. Why are you getting on YouTube? That's huge, because to be honest with you, man, it's a different world, 2020 and beyond. The whole concept of don't get on YouTube to try to make money. Well, now it's a job. You literally can go on YouTube to make money. If that is your why, if your why is, I want to make YouTube a job, right? If that is your why, then you need to go into your why and do what Justin Wilson said and others, and research your behind off, study, learn this job, this business, because it's a business. An employee of Google, you are. So you have to study this like a business and treat it like a business and grow this like a business. If your why is to make it a business and make money, then do it, right? But if your why is not about making money, if your why is about putting out content to just help the world, you don't care about the money, you just want to be able to put out content that you feel is going to contribute to society, then know your why and put that content out and be great at it. Who cares about the money? Who cares if you get monetized or not? You just want your content to get out. Whatever your why is, make sure you go into your why and go hard with it and
Yeah.
go intelligently with it and just put everything into it, because otherwise YouTube will eat you up and swallow you out and you your dead YouTube channel. So and I have a couple dead YouTube channels. So like you just gotta know your why and go for it and go hard. And as a Christian, I would say make sure you prayerfully go at it.
Man, that's good. Thank you. Wow, we've exhausted our time. I want everybody to just take a second to speak to what it is you want people to know. Where can they follow you? What is it that you're working on right now? Stuff that may not be the particular YouTube channel that we have highlighted in terms of you being on this panel, but just talk to us a little bit about, even if it's off YouTube completely. Like I know Gabby's doing some entrepreneurship stuff and some public speaking. So, talk to us a little bit about, what I call this is the plug your hustle section. So whatever that thing is that you are passionate about that you're doing right now, whether it's on YouTube or not, this is the time to be able to do that. We are going to start with Justin Wilson.
I picked
the guy who's on.
What am I not
I picked the guy who's on mute.
Right now, we actually just launched a membership site, and it's for drum lessons for kids, and it kind of centers around my son and how we nurtured and inspired him to just grow in his gift. And so it's a site for parents and kids. So we have a parent section where we just give all the tips and everything we did to help him grow in playing the drums. And then for the kids, he's doing drumming. He's teaching, some basic beats. He can get pretty advanced. So but it's a fun time. We have monthly live jam sessions with the kids where they get online and with Justin, and he does drum covers and their favorite songs, and he's just being a kid. He just turned 6, so
what's that website? What's that website?
It's called Drum Hub for Kids. And it's Drum Hub for Kids, basically drums for kids by kids. And so the concept is just
the way it's. Sorry, I'm typing it so I can put it on screen. Drum Hub for Kids. Is it a number 4? Is it?
No, spelling it out, forkids.com.
Got it.
And essentially, basically, it's going to be just a resource for kids to learn from other kids. So we would get other gifted kids to do lessons and kind of master classes, but it's by kids. And then for kids. So, that's something that we just started kind of near the end of our beta period, but it is live. We do have members.
Good.
And hoping for that to be something that, we do full time. So you'll see that tag like on our videos. Obviously, when you see in our videos a 5-year-old playing drums like he does, that's one of the main questions we get is like, how in the world is that possible? So, sign up and you'll find out how.
All right, cool. Thank you. We're moving on to the other side. We're going all the way to Gabby for plug your hustle. What do you got?
Yeah. Well, if you want to be inspired, motivated, learn, if you're a coach, teacher, something of that nature, and you'd like to learn how to use YouTube, how to create your own online course, or how to teach online, that is what I can help you with at Gabby A. Wallace on Instagram. So probably just following me on Instagram is a good place to connect.
Okay, cool. Gabby A. Wallace on Instagram.
Yep.
All right. Cool. I'm going to leave that up there while we go to the other Justin.
Most of my content, I think, will primarily appeal to those with some type of spiritual inclination. So if you want to check me out, first show that I do is I'm Listening. You just type in I'm Listening with Justin Khoe onto YouTube, and you'll find what I'm currently working on. I have a show that's also just been recently launched for people who are wanting to excel at youth and young adult ministry called the Growing Together podcast. That's live on audio platforms all over the place. I have a Bible study and teaching show called The Move, where we work through books of the Bible 10 minutes at a time. And I'm also, I guess I'll announce, working on kind of more of like a lifestyle and culture channel with a handful of friends called Free Flow, and that'll be launching in the next month or two.
Cool.
We'll see.
Cool. Looking forward to that. That's Free Flow one. Yeah, that's sounding good. We're gonna go to Anthony. What do you got coming up? I think I saw a trailer or something. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, first I gotta say I'm subscribing and following everybody that's on the screen right now, and I'm telling the world to do the same. I'm already following Khoe. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing. Wilson, I'm about to watch your videos every Friday night with my family. We about to sit down together and just hang out. And Gabby, I already speak English, but dang it, I'm gonna just let your videos play and let the ads play. I'm gonna just let it roll. I need to be a VidPro dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I gotta get my game.
I'm trying to be a VidPro dad too. Yes.
Yeah, and Kirk, man, you getting it together. So I'm following. I'm not gonna follow you yet. I need to see some consistency.
Okay. Give me some time.
And then I'm gonna hit the subscribe.
Give me some time.
But no, first I just have to actually plug my wife.
Yeah.
My wife has a YouTube channel.
Tell me the channel. Let me put that on the screen.
Absolutely. It's Adana, Adanna, the PA. Adana, the PA. She is just fantastic. I'm amazed by what she's been doing over the past few years. But her channel is about helping. She's a physician assistant herself, but she took people along her journey of
like that.
Adana, the PA. Yes. Okay. She took people along her journey of getting into PA school, getting through PA school, and now passing her boards, and now she is a PA. So she's helping pre-PA students to get into PA school. So if you're along that journey in life, she's definitely a person to follow. If you're a nurse practitioner student or even a med student and you just want some additional content, follow her. She's dope.
Excellent.
She's pretty, but don't be looking too hard. You know what I'm saying? Because, anyway.
Let them know. Let them know.
And then as for myself, please just simply go to sunsetfriday.com and you can follow everything we're doing. We just produced our latest project, which is a documentary about a pastor. He's actually a worldwide televangelist, and his story of him and his wife and their struggle with infertility, as well as the miracles and tragedy and hope that came through this story of losing their daughter in just 7 days of her being born. Wow. So it's a very powerful story, and definitely check out the trailer. It's on Sonset Friday, as well as all of our other films, from comedy to drama to everything else. So that's it.
All right. And then the VidProMom.
So you can search me up on YouTube if you just search VidProMom. That's a good place to follow along. Or I'm meredithmarsh.co on Instagram. And I have a podcast called Your Thriving Side Hustle in a Facebook group by the same name. So I'm all over the place.
I think all of those are available though on VidProMom, right? Like a list of those items that you're doing. Is that correct?
Probably. I don't know. Maybe.
I think I found them on there. But I was just trying to figure out what do I type, because you just said like 4 links. But either way, folks, this is somebody you need to follow. Absolutely. Not that. I mean, honestly, everybody on here are people that I follow, and I will be probably switching over to your other channel, Gabby, because I've started to look at some of the content on there. I said, yeah, this is definitely much more in my speed. So we'll be switching over to that. What was it called again? Say that channel name one more time. I know you've been commenting with it in the.
Yeah, it's if you search Gabby Wallace, you'll probably find it. Freedom Seekers.
Freedom Seekers.
Gabby Wallace.
Okay. It's Freedom Seekers and VidProMom, meredithmarsh.co on Instagram. Good. Any projects you got going on, Meredith, that you wanted to share? Anything that you want people to know about?
I have a membership program called the Video Pursuit Society.
Okay.
For side hustlers who want to take those small steps every week towards growing their audience and income online. So if that's something that people need support on, then hit me up.
Good. That was what I was hoping you would share, because that's exactly what I was hoping you were going to share. And that is available on VidProMom.com.
That is available at wherever you can find me.
Anywhere you can. Okay. Anywhere you can find. Okay.
You probably will have to contact me to get a direct link to it.
I see. So that you've heard what to do, folks. You have to contact. You have to contact. Okay. I'm looking in the comments. I think we are essentially winding down. We are over time slightly, but I just wanted to say a word of thanks to everybody. There has been already some buzz in the chat section about a part 2. I don't know. We'll see. I'll reach out to you guys, see if you're interested in that, when we can get that on the schedule for the show. Because I think that we just barely scratched the surface of some of the things that could be very beneficial or helpful to those who are watching, in terms of, you know, being able to step out there on YouTube and create something that is meaningful and powerful and impactful for people to watch and for people to be changed by. So that's pretty cool. I am Kirk Nugent. This is the How It All Works show. And on this show, we explore all kinds of things, dealing with technology, dealing with media, dealing with leadership. And we constantly peel back the veil. We constantly try to go a little bit deeper than what you see on the surface. And we hope that somewhere in the course of the show today, you were able to figure out a little bit better how it all works. All right. And that is it for today's episode. We just have a quick little outro that we're going to play, and we will see you next week. Oh, look at that. I almost forgot to show you what next week is. How could I do that, right? I mean, how could I forget to show you what next week is? The entrepreneur, the risk taker. We could almost just have this same panel, because they're all risk takers on this. I mean, you listen to Justin's story. Is that not a risk? I mean, to tell your wife of less than a year. I mean, anyway, but yeah, the entrepreneur, the risk taker. And we have a panel of folks who, yeah, they know that life. And so we want to hear from them. Want to hear what their stories are. I'm definitely interested in this one. Recently self-employed myself, decided to take the plunge due to the pandemic. So join us next week on the channel, howitallworks.com, youtube.com/KirkRNugent, entrepreneur, the risk taker, Monday, August 3rd, 5:30 Central Standard Time, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. And with that, we are now complete, and I will play the outro. Later.